Now this for everybody fighting through the pain and the pressure. You know life will try to test you, but you promise not to give up for your mama and your sister, and your brother and your cousin, everybody else that's with you. You the one that's gonna deliver like Amazon Prime. Always on time, yeah. Even when it's looking bad, I never stop trying, cause I've been stressing, I've been crying. My depression had me blind. Sometimes I can't see the signs, but I keep going, I ain't lying. It's for everyone that's grinding for their kids, you're not alone. It's for every child that promised they gon' buy their mama home. For all my 9-to-5ers going hard to make that green clock out, then you just go harder, cause you still got chase that dream. For all my starving, evolving artists, just keep going hard, regardless how people talking about us.
Good morning. It's still morning here in the Bay Area in California. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this impromptu LinkedIn Live. Please let me know if you could see me, if you could hear me. I just wanted to get on here really quickly because, and sorry if you could hear the kids in the background. My son is here as well as my son, so he may be crashing. So I wanted to get on here. I'm actually getting ready to do a TV interview with CW26 for the Job Hunt show. And this is what I do when I'm a little bit nervous about podcast interviews. I do things like this just to get out of my comfort zone. So I really wanted to hop on here really quickly. Can you guys hear Bobby in the background? Hey, Dan. Hello, Douglas. Thank you so much for tuning in. But I used to do this a while back, sometime last year, by starting the new week on a Monday with a little bit of Monday mindfulness. And I just picked up this mindfulness cards, little Chotsky here from Target. Target is one of my favorite stores. And every time I go to Target, every time you're supposed to go to Target, right, you're supposed to only buy that one thing. That's usually shampoo, toothbrush, right? I usually walk out with a full cart of things that I wasn't supposed to buy, but I love having things like this on my desk because it's a great way to start off my day. I usually start off my mornings with a little bit of meditation, journaling, but this little card deck actually comes with different quotes and different journaling prompts that focuses on rest and balance, curiosity and joy, insight and awareness, and kindness. And today I picked up this card that was actually in the insight and awareness. And we're talking today, as you know, if you've been following me last week, I kicked off a video series or recruiter series where I'm sharing my favorite tips from the recruiting perspective, working for tech companies like Google, Wish, and back in my agency days. I would love to share some insights for you to really help you as a job seeker stand out as candidates, right? So I pulled out this card, and it's very fitting because it talks about the importance of active listening. So let me read this to you. The next time you're having a conversation with someone, just listen. Too often, so-called conversation is actually two monologues with each person just waiting for the other to finish. There are a few things as generous as listening deeply to a friend. Listening with your whole mind and your whole body, receiving the words and thoughts with your complete presence. That really is resonating with me because I have been very fortunate to connect with so many great people here on LinkedIn. And you know how you always have these informative chats, coffee chats where you're networking. And I fell into that trap where I'm in a meeting and I'm not fully present. This also happens too for job seekers when they're interviewing, where you're in the seat, you're getting interviewed, and you're thinking about what to say next, right? You're kind of getting yourself into that mode where I wonder what they're going to ask me. Okay, let me just kind of think about what I'm going to say next. And you're not fully present in the moment. That also happens often too when we are speaking to our friends, when we're speaking to our colleagues, when we're speaking to our potential clients. We're not fully present there, where we're actually missing the mark as far as what they're sharing with us, as far as their experience, their story. So this is a really, really, hi, Tom. Nice. Thank you. Hello, Eero. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Comment below. Sorry, my phone is blowing up. But really important reminder as friends, as colleagues, as parents, as job seekers, as leaders, we really need to be practiced on being more mindful and being more present in the conversations that we're having, so we can really understand what the other person is conveying and articulating, right? To see how we can help them. Really important too, as a job seeker, when you have that official first initial phone screen with that recruiter, practice active listening, right? So today I really wanted to hop on here really quickly to share some tips on how to effectively prepare for that first initial phone screen with the recruiter, especially in the tech industry, because that's something that I specialize in, and especially because it's super competitive here in Silicon Valley. And if you know this, if you have experience in the recruiting world, recruiters are talking to maybe, let's say, anywhere between 10 to 25 candidates on a daily basis, right? So as a job seeker, as a candidate, that first initial touch point with the recruiter is super important, because that's the first initial impression that you're going to give to that potential employer. So first things first, and these are very simple steps that anyone can use, but often from my experience working in the recruiting world, there's been a few horror stories in my end where candidates were not even prepared. And sometimes candidates think that, okay, the initial phone screen with the recruiter is just a typical HR screen. I don't really need to prepare for that. But keep in mind that the recruiter is an extension of that hiring team, right? So often in my experience, hiring managers are always asking me, hey, June, what was your overall impression from that candidate? How well did they do in the interview with you? Do they prepare? What types of different projects did they share in that first initial screen? So that's why it's really important going into the interview process to treat that first initial phone screen as an actual interview, because you are being assessed from the very beginning, from that first initial touch point with the recruiter, right? So first thing first, review the job description. Especially too, if you are applying at different companies and if you're applying for different positions, right? There has been far too many times where I'm speaking to the candidate and they're like, wait, which job is this I'm applying for? Is it a project manager? Is it a customer success manager? I'm not sure. That is a huge epic fail, because that just shows that you weren't proactive and you weren't prepared for the phone screen. So very simply put, review the job description. And on second tip, check out the company page, specifically the About Us section, the mission, the values, and social media accounts, because that will give you kind of a clear understanding of what the company culture is, what types of products they have. It's also great too, especially in the tech world, if you're interviewing at a tech startup and they have a mobile app. Download the mobile app, play with it a little bit, because the recruiter on the other end is going to ask you, what is it about our company or our products that motivated you to apply? And if you're just saying, basically, well, I thought it was a cool company and the perks are great, I see that you offer free food and great benefits and perks, that's not going to really impress the recruiter. I think it's really impressive when you, as a job seeker, download an app or buy something that company manufactures or puts out there for consumers to use, and use it and try it. If you can't afford it, look up YouTube, look up the company page, look at the social media accounts. That's going to give you insights of what the company's values are and mission. And then during the first initial phone screen, you are going to tie the company's core values and mission to your own core values as a professional, right? I think it's really important as job seekers to really kind of have a full grasp of your core values and your strengths that you bring to a company. So for example, I'm going to talk about me really quickly. Or for example, some of my past, sorry, my son is in the background. Some of my past clients, we really work in the beginning and understanding where their core strengths and unique skills are. For example, some of my client strengths are being strategic, being innovative, being passionate, right? So these are definitely skills that you want to share during that first initial phone screen, and then kind of tie it into the core values and mission of the company. Give me 1 second. My son is crashing. Say hi. Sorry, mom problems here. Are you going to be? Yes, this is actually being recorded. Also, I'm going off a tangent here. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Where is it? I'll give you some things to follow up at the end of this presentation here, Promptu Live. But yes, again, okay, sorry guys. Let me know if you can still hear me. I had technical difficulties here. But I'm continuing my live and I have to wrap up quickly here. But okay, so second tip is check out the company's page about section, mission, values, and tie it into your values as a professional, right? Okay, third tip here, review your resume and work on your elevator pitch, okay? There has been oftentimes too where as a recruiter, I am scanning down. Let me know if you could see me, guys, because I just hopped back on. Yay! Hey, Andrew! You're in the Bay Area. We need to meet. Okay, what was I saying? Review your resume and work on your elevator pitch, especially to that very first question. Hey, Andrew, tell me about yourself. What motivated you to apply? Or how did you actually start your career in project management, right? And then when you're sharing your tell me about yourself or your elevator pitch, you really want to also highlight some accomplishments in your recent experience. Always focus on the past, present, and future, and keep it under, if you can try, keep it under about a minute and 30 seconds. I have been in that recruiter end on the phone call, the first official phone call, where candidates spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes answering that question, tell me about yourself. And we wouldn't have enough time for me to ask those questions that the hiring managers want me to ask. So really make sure that when you are answering this question, tell me about yourself, keep it very short and concise and engaging, right? Recruiters are in a time crunch. They're phone screening candidates about around between 10 to 25 candidates on a daily basis. So really make sure that you keep your answers very short and concise, and then tie in what your experience you have on your resume, tie it in how it's related to the position that you're applying for. Let me know if that helps you guys. Okay. What is my next tip here? Okay. Super easy, this tip is so easy. And this will give you brownie points. Please look up the recruiter's LinkedIn profile. You know why? Because that is going to bring you some brownie points. The fact that you actually took the time to look up that recruiter's profile and learn a little bit more about them, and then ask the recruiter, what is it about this company that you like to do, that you enjoy the most? You're not only showing that you're interested in that recruiter's own experience, but it's showing that you're building that relationship with your potential coworker, and that's going to help you really stand out. There's been this one time where I had a phone screen of a couple of candidates, and before I actually started my recruiting career, I volunteered for a nonprofit called No Excuse Mom, and it's actually listed on my LinkedIn profile. I've had so many candidates say, hey, June, really love the community and volunteer work that you did with No Excuse Mom. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? That was really very, from my end, very impressive, because that shows that the candidate took the time to look me up, do a Google search. And that's definitely going to help you bring some brownie points. And also to keep in mind that recruiter is going to advocate for you and, is going to cheer you on the way, right? So you really want to establish that great relationship by having like a really great, a couple of questions for the recruiter and ask them, and always like look them up too as well. And then ask some questions. I think that's actually my third. Let me see here. Okay, yes, 5th tip here. Did I go 1, 2, 3? Oh, I only have 4 tips here, guys. So I have review the job description, check out company page, review resume, and work on your elevator pitch. Okay. And then look up the recruiter. Okay, 5th question, ask questions. Please ask questions, because that's going to give you more information on what to expect in that first initial interview with the hiring manager. And, we'll give you some time to prepare, right? Ask the question to the recruiter, what should I expect in this position? What are the types of questions that I should prepare for if I were to make it to the first round of interviews, right? And then share some stories. I said this too in the beginning. Really bring the energy, share, when you're answering that question, tell me about yourself. Bring the energy, bring the passion, bring the enthusiasm, especially too in today's job market. It's super competitive. You really want to bring that energy in the first initial phone screen, and share maybe some passion projects or hobbies that you like to do during the weekend, because recruiters will remember you. Again, recruiters are screening so many candidates on a daily basis. So if you share a unique story on how you started your career, or share that you love to volunteer during the weekend, you love having different hobbies and passion projects, you love doing, you love illustrating comic book illustrations, or you love painting, that's going to definitely help you stand out too. And then I always say this too, companies hire people and not robots. You are more than being one-dimensional, my friend. There's more to you of your education experience, right? So really take the time, after you answered all of the questions that the recruiter asks, share what you like to do, especially too if they ask too. That's something that I usually ask too during my first initial phone screen. So I hope that helps everyone. Let me just kind of share what I talked today about. Okay, so today, my son is in the background. Today, here are 5 tips on how to stand out on that first initial recruiter screen. Tip 1, review the job description. Tip 2, make sure you look up the company's website and look up the company's About Us, Mission, and Values section. Step 3, review your resume and work on your elevator pitch. Tip 4 is look up the recruiter's LinkedIn and find something interesting about them that you could bring up during that first initial conversation. Tip 5, ask questions. This is your chance to kind of get a first glimpse of what to expect in the interview process, or what to expect in the role if you are going to get to that point where you do get the offer or get hired, right? So bring the questions, bring the energy, share what your passions are, your hobbies. That's going to definitely help you stand out as a candidate. So please let me know if that was helpful. You could definitely watch the replay. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, you can watch all of my past LinkedIn Lives. And then I do have some things in the works that I've been working on behind the scenes that's going to help you build your personal brand, particularly on LinkedIn. So if you want to keep up with my updates, please sign up for my newsletter at buildwithjune.com. But yeah, let me know if this was helpful, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in on this impromptu live. Thank you so much. I'm taking a little bit of a break from LinkedIn Live, so I may be popping here ever so often, but there's going to be some things changing soon, so stay tuned. But thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great rest of your week. I will see you soon. Thank you, Gina. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you. Welcome to Build with June, where you'll be getting weekly doses of career tips and hacks, as well as hearing stories of grit, perseverance, and inspiration. My overall mission of this new series is really building community, sharing stories of hope, and bringing everyone closer together by creating a very inclusive environment where everyone feels welcome.